So Warner Brothers and HBO Max released Velma while they were sitting on movies like Scooby-Doo and Krypto 2, and a movie about the Hex Girls. Really? I have no idea how they can justify that. Not long ago, Warner Brothers canned multiple projects, opting instead to write them off on their taxes, thinking they would make more money doing that instead of actually releasing them to the public, including ones that were finished or near finished, which means none of this content can see the light of day, otherwise they can get in a lot of trouble, which is pretty unfortunate for all the people who worked on these projects. That's years of work that's pretty much locked away in a vault now. However, one of these completed projects ended up being leaked onto the internet, Scooby-Doo and Krypto 2, where the gang ends up in Metropolis and meet Krypto the Superdog. This is a pretty big deal since the public wasn't actually supposed to see this movie, and some people are wondering if we're going to see more leaks from WB, whether WB likes it or not, or can actually profit off of them or not. So I tracked down the film and it's actually really charming. I don't know why they wrote it off. Did they really think this wouldn't sell well? But basically one day the Justice League goes missing, and they're gone for a month, leaving Metropolis to fall into chaos. Even villains who don't operate out of Metropolis are here, like the Joker and Harley Quinn, although I'm pretty sure they're here just because they're popular, and not actually because they need to be here. But still, I can let that slide. Lois and Jimmy call the Scooby Gang to investigate what happened to the Justice League. What follows is a lot of shenanigans and hijinks. The Mystery Machine must have some pretty thick plot armor. I have no idea how they got out of all of this unscathed. They have a lot of fun references to various DC properties, like there's a scene where they're running from Solomon Grundy, and Shaggy and Scooby accidentally end up on Flash's cosmic treadmill, so they go forward in time and run into the Legion of Superheroes, specifically the cartoon from the early 2000s, which is a show that Em and I used to watch as kids, so that was a neat callback. They also reference Teen Titans when the two of them dress up as Robin and Speedy, another classic DC show from the 2000s. They even reference the Wonder Twins, which as a longtime fan I appreciate. And of course there are a ton of references going through the Hall of Justice, as well as Metropolis overall. These were all really fun to pick out, and everything felt pretty lovingly crafted, unlike some other shows that were greenlit for some reason, where the references feel mean-spirited and cynical. The gang ends up getting trapped in the Hall of Justice with Lex Luthor of all people when it goes into lockdown. Lex is actually a pretty major secondary character in the film. They play him as more fun and campy than he's usually portrayed, and I actually really enjoyed it. He develops a rivalry with Velma, and he has his own dog called Rex Luthor, who is a rival to Krypto. Krypto doesn't speak in this film, but he's very expressive, so it's clear what he's thinking, though it might have been cool if Scooby could understand him. We get some perspective from the average population of Metropolis, which is pretty cool considering the fact that we don't usually get to hear from random citizens. Unfortunately, they don't have a lot of positive things to say about the Justice League, which is a little strange. It seems like people aren't as concerned about these supervillains as they should be. The mayor's been giving tours at the Hall of Justice to pay the rent. One woman is happy the League is gone because they never let her park her food truck outside their headquarters, and the valet is just annoyed with them because all of their vehicles are weapons, which he has to deal with on a daily basis. Both he and the food truck lady say they're happy the Justice League are gone, but Metropolis is in ruin. There's supposed to be red herrings for the mystery, but it's still a little odd. Now just doesn't seem like the time, but I guess it's just for comedic purposes. Anyway, it was great to see the gang back together, where they're all happy and actually friends, instead of mean-spirited and hating each other. Plus, you know, Scooby-Doo is actually here. It's a shame this is an unofficial release that was never supposed to see the light of day. Good job there, Warner Brothers. But Shaggy and Scooby are up to their usual antics, caring more about food than anything else. Even when they get their hands on some power rings, all they do is make food constructs. Velma's actually intelligent and can find clues on her own, instead of having to copy math homework from Norville. Plus, she's actually nice and fun, instead of unnecessarily cruel. We actually get some shipping from Fred and Daphne, which isn't unusual for these movies, but it's pretty cute and not invasive to the story. Plus, it's a couple you can actually root for, unlike some other shows that were supposedly based off the Scooby-Doo franchise that had extremely toxic ships. But overall, this was a really fun movie, and it's a shame that it had to be leaked for people to actually see it. Hopefully other projects that were canceled will be able to resurface too, even if it means people will have to track them down on their own. But I also think it proves that WB just isn't making the best decisions right now, especially for them canceling so many projects that were basically finished. These movies take years to produce, and they put all this time and money into making them, only for them to cancel them at the last minute. It's a pretty strange situation. Scooby-Doo has been around for 50 years, and I think it still has a lot to offer. These crossovers can be a lot of fun, and I think it's interesting that they've been doing this for decades too, crossing over with popular media way back in the 70s, and the formula still holds up. And I think a lot of other people would rather have these classic fun adventures and crossovers with these great characters instead of whatever they were trying to do with Velma. But that's my opinion. What do you guys think? Do you hope to see more of these scrapped projects projects in the future? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to our members: Stutania, Tyrant Carnivore, Adam K, Shiny Orc Boy, The Rabbit Mancer, General Bolivar, Depth Charge Media, Samaru163, Gabby Hime, Verdant Range, JVR, Hussyman42, Nixel, Eric Griffin, Phil C, Taylor Ramirez, Caleb Nelson, Bandito Bane, Dakari the Professor, Equestron, Norman Sweetcream, Way Beyond Coincidence, Garcia XV Legend, Hunter Rose, Dashhound, 80s Nostalgia Guy, Miranda Sinistra, Butcher7 Actual, Felix Bam, Soundboy00, Owen Wildish, Lil, Player Zero, Kitsune Fiora, and Can We Pretend That? Thank you all so much for your support, and if you'd like to support the channel as a member, you can hit the join button next to the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this content, you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, and that part's free. We also have Buy Me Coffee if you want to support us that way. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.